the Luckau family. I want you guys to introduce yourselves. Sarah.
JD.
Johnny.
Brody.
Trent.
And they are Paintball Fit.
Make a statement at every point.
And it was just a regular thing, and I didn't know that there was a such thing as a paintball field. Didn't know anything about that. Then Sarah showed up and surprised my brothers and I and said, I bought these tickets to a paintball field. We're like, what? We showed up Sunday morning to Paintball Games Dallas way back when, and I was like, holy shit, there's other people. There's a lot of people. I get to shoot. Goddamn, I'm in heaven. And I was like, from then on, it was every Sunday. We played all the time. We went out and played what we thought was tournaments. Ended up they were being big scenario games. And I found out there was actually 10-man, which was the NAPL. And showed up at Joe Pool Lake back then in the early 90s and got to witness the real Iron Man with Dave Youngblood and Bob Long. And it was just like, this is what I got to do. Then I found 10-man in Texas, the TCC, played all that. But then fast forward, got into 5-man. Steve Rabicock showed up with the GTS tournament series back then. And I was like, yo, Robert, my oldest brother, I was like, you take over Elf Warriors. I'm starting Steel Talons. And then just boom, we won it the very first year. We won a trip to World Cup, and I've never stopped. It's never lost its luster. Not to get away from 10-man and playing in the woods, because we all, as a family, do the ICPL. And I think any form of paintball is amazing. And I've always said I'd rather, win with lose with my buddies than win with my friends. And a lot of times people are like, that's the stupidest thing ever. I just want to win. I promise you, it's much better when you do it with your buddies. So any kind of tribulation you have with your teammates or your buddies or your family, find a way to get through it, because this is the dream. Having your family fall in love with the game, and it's the greatest.
So I want to talk a little bit. You don't just have the Paintball Fit brand. You have a lot of things going on. You own a field.
So we have Paintball Fit is our field.
You have a pro team. Hopefully next year.
Yeah.
Keep up on the rate we're going.
Yeah, for
You're
sure.
beating the brakes off of everyone here at Windy City, right?
They are. Yes, they're doing great.
Right. And you have Hydra Fit. Let's talk about Hydra Fit for a moment.
Hydra Fit is a brand that it was developed out of necessity. Johnny had a knee issue at a younger age, and so we started developing a knee pad that would allow him to play and not create issues. And then we developed, it just all went from there. Got into that, and then we kept going. We keep looking at innovative things to do. One thing that sets us apart is we don't just like, oh, let's just do what they're doing and we're just going to rebrand and do that. We try to make things that make sense to improve the game. We do all the R&D ourselves. We do it before we release it. We know, like, all right, we're going to put our name on this.
Just give it to Brody. He trashes it. Or
Oh, no doubt.
Oh, he's rough on you.
So in life,
we fucked that shit up. Dude.
yeah, and
Straight
in
up.
life,
That man put a knife to our knee pad with it on my knee. I'd be like, yeah, it works.
and Johnny, yeah.
So,
it works.
Yeah, in
I would
life
like
as
to see
they
that
grow up.
home video.
It's online.
It's online.
It is.
Oh,
Yeah.
great.
Yeah.
So growing up, Johnny would develop things. He would design things, and then he'd be like, "Here, Brody, go." And then Brody would go and crash it.
Yeah. You had me dive into rocks.
Yeah, so he was that, and then Colt was the one that just came and was like, "Oh, okay, that's the best you can fuck it up. Watch this." Blah, blah, blah. So it was.
Same with Drew.
And then they grew up, and now, yeah.
You're all playing together. So 3 brothers and a cousin. And then I'm going to give a little plug to I'm going to call them Paintball Wives, even though they're not quite your wives yet. But we bring the girlfriends along, the wives along.
Yeah.
You keep the glue together.
But yes.
So let's talk about that. How is it from a women's aspect to be in a man's sport? And I hate to say that, but now we have the WNXL, and you actually represent that brand as well. So let's talk about
Really
that.
cool. At first, I thought, when you guys came up to us and said, "Hey, we're going to do this. You want to be a part of it?" I thought, okay, it's
Here's
going to
my
be
spot.
fun. We'll do this. It'll be fun. It is a lot of fun. It's different.
A lot of
because
work.
We've done the whole guy tournaments and stuff like that, and girls are completely different.
Absolutely.
And
A lot of
emotionally
feelings.
in it, everything, every aspect of it.
Sure.
But it's still fun. It's a lot of fun.
And do you think your girlfriends like coming and working these events?
They do. They enjoy it.
So I always creep on your Instagrams and stories, and I'm just like, that is one big happy family. Literally, y'all go to like events together. I think I saw y'all in like some downtown cellar that used to be like a jail or something at one of the
Yeah, that was
last
real
events.
weird.
So Johnny goes on there and him and Madison try and find all the cool stuff to do. And so we're like, okay, what are we doing?
What are they getting into this time? Or what food places are y'all going to?
Especially the food.
Yeah.
Or they go looking for rats. I don't know. They went on a little excursion down under weird
Dude,
stuff.
the underneath of
huge
Chicago.
rats. I don't know. I was like, no, you guys go.
So it's possible to have a family and still be very much part of the sport. And I think that's something that a lot of people don't think is possible. So I appreciate you guys bringing that aspect to our sport. It's wonderful to see one big happy family. Let's talk about the future of what you guys are wanting to do. What's your goal as a family?
Go fucking pro, man. All the way to the top.
Yeah.
That's,
I mean,
that's the
we
only
were
real fucking
pro,
goal.
right?
I don't really
And
see
then
anything else.
We got relegated. Like, how did that feel? Like, how does it feel to have
Fucking
to work
sucks.
for it?
We got asked after D2 to go pro when the original AC Dallas fell apart. They all went their own ways, and then we took our group, went up there, and it was a big learning experience, right? You go and you're playing a completely different division, right? You go from D2 all the way to pro. It's just completely different. We didn't really have the greatest communicating between like our team and the new staff, right? And it was a lot of arguing on both sides that was just not working out. So then we're not playing well, and then you're just getting shit on, or sorry about the word, but like by higher knowledge in paintball, right? So like when
You
you're
mean
making
IQ, maybe?
yeah, the IQ,
Sure.
right? So the paintball IQ in pro was just so much more advanced than what we were used to. You make a mistake there, they catch it, and they make a move off of it where they shoot you. Down in the lower divisions, I felt like you could get away with making mistakes, right? So then we learned that up there, and now we're back as our original Paintball Fit. So we were in D2 with the same coach and same staff, and everyone's in the same mindset that we were. And it kind of took a lot of pressure off, understanding that we just have to get our IQ up, and we can play a lot better. And I feel like that's what's molding us now is just being more confident.
So do we feel like this time when we get that pro spot that we're gonna have the same problems, or do you feel like you're in a
Absolutely
better
not.
spot now?
I think when we go play pro, I would like to win a tournament in the first 2 years, and that's the goal, right? It's not just to go up and be pro. The goal is to go up and win a pro tournament, and then eventually win 3 pro tournaments, and then eventually do what Dynasty's doing right now, right? Dominating the league, and that's going to take time. I don't expect that to be in 2 years, but you have to you have to shoot very high into the stars, right? Like you have to try to go for it all, or else you're not going to get close. So that's the mindset.
So why Major League Paintball? There's so many great leagues out there right now. Why do you guys choose to put all of your business into Major League Paintball?
This is where the best competition is. This is the full community, from the top to the bottom. There are other leagues, but it's not close. This is it. If you actually want to say that you are the best in the world in your division, even style of paintball, this is it. Like, even if you win locally, even if there's a bigger prize or you win a gun, nobody really cares. They're always going to say, yeah, well, that team's better. You win here, that's it. Like, there is no more argument. You are the undisputed best in that division. So, yeah, this is the UFC of paintball.
So we've been working for a very long time for this pro spot, and you guys have worked from the bottom up. You've had the same team going up. You all work together. You work boots together. Is it going to be the same if you get that pro spot? Are we going to have to keep the same team as is, or are we going to have to add? What is that going to look like for you guys?
I don't even think it's a question. I think that we're just going to stick together and ride it out until none of us can play anymore.
Closing comments, I'm going to ask JD and Sarah, what is your best advice to those couples that are out there to make it work? Like, what is your best advice to them to make their family work with their paintball balanced life?
Whether if it's just their spouse, just they're playing and that the spouse is not, make a point to come out and watch what they're doing, be involved with what they're doing, and support them because it's a lot of fun. We make it family friendly at Paintball Fit to bring the families out so that they can enjoy being a part of the community and watching and enjoying all of it. So it tends to keep the players with their spouse and they don't get upset by leaving to go play paintball, and it works a lot better. So watching them play or being a part of it and they both play. So,
I would say trust. Trust, like the biggest thing, the most important thing. I've said it once. I've said it 1,000 times. Life is paintball. Paintball is life. Everything that I learned on the paintball field as a young man, I just put into action in my real life also. On the paintball field, you have to trust in your buddy, trust in your teammate, and you know, and in life, you have to trust in the people that you're in business with or whatever you're doing. You have to have faith that they're going to do what they're supposed to do, and you got to communicate. I think communication is so important in any kind of relationship, a husband, a wife, boyfriend, a girlfriend, teammates. On the field, off the field, communication is everything. The moment somebody stops talking and they do something, you're like, why'd they do that? But you don't ask them and you don't communicate, your mind goes weird places and all sorts of havoc comes from that. So communicate and trust. It's what you need, those two things.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys for being here and being a part of our sport. We appreciate you. Let's see if we can make it Sunday Fun Day and take home that win so we can get that pro spot for next year.
Absolutely.
Thank you for having us.